What is the single most, you'll understand it when you're older, thing? Can we get McDonald's? No, we have food at home. That the quality rather than quantity of friends matters. Good people aren't always nice people. And vice versa. Edit. Thank you for the awards. Understanding why your parents wanted you to go play with the awkward kid. Or why they were so keen to help you make friends. It's beyond annoying as a kid when your parents try to guide who make friends with, but most parents instinctually know that bad social habits start early, are hard to break, and can be a real burden when you are older. Time off. Working crazy hours in my early 20s was nice because I had a lot of money, but as I became older and more involved with my now fiancé and my friends, I realized that there's a balance. This drove me to look for a job with a little less pay but far better hours, and now I'm happy. Don't work like a slave. You'll miss a lot of good things in life. Edit. Thank you for all the awards. I didn't think this post or comment would blow up like this. Why it's so annoying when you forget to take the chicken out of the freezer. Why elderly people in nursing homes who get no visitors are so lonely and filled with despair. How many people have a kid thinking it's going to fix their relationship? Friendships fading away. I remember my dad telling me all kinds of cool stories about things him and his friends did in the past. I even asked him, why aren't you still friends with these people? He really did basically say, it's complicated. You'll understand when you're older. Even back then I remember thinking, that's crazy. Me and my friends will always be friends. Sitting here now in my early 30s and it really hits home. High school drama isn't important. Like, at all. It is possible to do everything right and still fail. Don't let it consume you. Pick up the pieces and move on. I had to learn this after a project that I was on for 3 years was sabotaged and shit-canned. I did some amazing work. And poured my life into that project. In the end I had nothing to show for it. It put me in a real slump for a few years. I am still trying to pull myself out of it without becoming a cynical and jaded asshole. Hand-me-downs. I absolutely hated them. Even though my grandma was a genius with them. Dyeing. Artistic patches. New buttons. They just didn't last compared to the new clothes my older sister had. Then I had 3 boys in 6 years. I'm seriously grateful that my grandma tried so hard to make my hand-me-downs look good. I get it now. Not helping every person who says they're in need. Some folks'll con your ass. The sound of your joints exploding every time you get up. Why my parents would look disgusted eating, drinking anything that was sweet. 1. I never understood why they watered down juice until now. Time. Wasting time. And how time flies. It's mid-deck and I'm saying to myself, what the heck, it's been 9 months of COVID and I can't believe this year is almost over. As you age it seems to go faster and faster. When I was younger I felt like time just dragged on some days. Something a little more lighthearted. But about half the jokes on cartoons like SpongeBob take on a whole new light once you've got more experience under your belt. Literally getting older. Never thought much about when adults would say, you're still young. Just enjoy it. I always wanted to be older because I was tired of HS. Wanted to be out of college. Etc. Now I want aging to slow down a bit. What parents sacrifice just so you can do something fun? Last night my husband and I sat in a line of cars for an hour and a half so our kids could see this cheesy drive-through light display in my town with Santa and other characters. 0 not worth it for us, but the kids loved it and it was worth it to see them be able to do a fun Christmas activity during a pandemic. It made me think of how much my parents had to endure taking my brother and I to theme parks and stuff as a kid just to see us happy. I appreciate it infinitely more now. The quiet, boring, simple times are the best. Everyone's fed, happy, healthy, chill, napping. These are the good times. Sleep is no punishment, it's a gift. Not everybody is going to like you. Even if you're a good person. Teenagers are just kids. It's something I quite literally was not capable of understanding until I wasn't a teenager anymore. When I was a teenager I felt so grown up. Socks are a very nice gift. There's really no going back, you really just get one shot with each hour you get. Just have to make your peace with the choice path you took and keep it moving. Learning to live through loneliness as a child is a gift. Why the pet hamster changed color. King Triton. Ariel's dad was right. She was just a child and she was not in love with the random prince she saw for all of 30 seconds. Edit. Thanks for the gold, friends. I will take it back to my hoard of trinkets from the human world. That everything has shades of gray is a sliding scale. It is so easy to understand the world as absolutes when young. Suddenly realizing in my late teens, early 20s that basically nothing is an absolute was a total revelation that really steers my understanding of everything and undoubtedly makes me a better person. Love. I thought I loved my wife when I was 20. Now I am 50 and we have been together over 30 years. I realize now that when I was 20 I didn't understand what love is. I hope 70-year-old me looks back on 50-year-old me and says the same thing. Things simply just don't work out. A job, a partner, sometimes family, and friends. The most well-intended people just don't always work out. Health issues. I know I've been genetically lucky. But after 20, random shit just starts happening for no reason. It's like Daryl developing a soy allergy at 35. Who develops a soy allergy at 35? Not all people have your best interests at heart. People will take advantage of your kindness and compassion. And finally, that everyone else's problems are not your own. You can try to help people but they have to want to help themselves. Money. There was a reason that you didn't get those shoes, the PS5, a new shiny car, etc. Maintaining a home and keeping the family fed is fucking expensive. If the door is closed, you should always knock. You don't have to be happy all the time. A parent's love for their child. A year after my granddaughter was born, my daughter was telling me how wonderful her toddler is. How smart she is, and just all around lovable she is. She then said, "I don't think I could ever love anyone as much as I love my daughter." Then she paused for a moment as realization washed over her face. Dad. Is this how much you love me? Bingo. Kiddo. Now you know. I'm older and still don't understand things that I think I should. Regret. It is difficult to keep perspective without it being taught as a skill. The importance of having good insurance and how expensive it can be without getting it from job benefits. When I was a kid I watched my mom and dad refuse to let my grandparents pay for something or pay them back for something. I thought that was silly as a kid and said I wouldn't do that. But as an adult I find myself always doing this same thing I said I never would. Chasing orgasms gets old. You really want to spend your time with someone you like talking to. The power of your peers. One of the gifts of middle age is you finally stop caring so much about what everyone else thinks of what you're doing, largely because you realize other people no longer care, if they ever did in the first place. Once that veil lifts, everything feels different. But until then you really have no idea how much what you decide or want has had to do with pleasing the people around you. Trying to fit in with them. Or at least avoiding their ire. How stupid you are right now. People tend to think they're pretty knowledgeable and wise at any given moment in their life. But then you age a decade and look back and think, wow, I was such an idiot. How did I not realize how much of a douchebag I was being? And other such things. Then you'll think, I'm glad I'm better now. Now I'm pretty knowledgeable and wise. Then another decade passes. I lost my mom August 2020. I can sincerely say that I feel like I've learned more in the last 3 months than I have in my entire life. I've gone from someone who thought being right and doing the right thing was the most important thing to understanding that being kind, loving, compassionate and empathetic is so much more important. Always choose love. You will never regret it. Ever.